Hello and welcome back everybody to this very interesting multiplayer session in Flashpoint Campaigns Southern Storm against Peter. The Ride of the 12th Cuirassiers is this scenario in play, and the enemy is still striking with artillery against this position. Hopefully the headquarter here does not get hit accidentally. We are preparing our advance to the south with artillery fire. The scouts have not spotted anything so far, so I will have to push them forward on the next command cycle, which unfortunately will be in quite some time, 30 minutes or so. Ooh, we have spotted BMPs moving hastily from this position. That is very interesting. So there was a defensive line here. I mean, we had some luck shots, some lucky hits in Ingersheim. There was a defensive position here which apparently Peter is now evacuating to react to the push from the north. That is interesting. That might then allow us to get our next reinforcements to actually attack Colmar very slowly and carefully, as long as the infantry is not with us. But why else would he pull these forces away, right? Yeah, and all that is our artillery fire preparing, or supporting rather, this push to the south. Tanks are stationary. These are stationary. Yeah, okay, they could have used some more offensive orders potentially. What about the status of these tanks? I guess we can order this battalion forward. In the next command cycle to be the second wave, or sort of replace this first wave and push further. Yeah, or maybe, I don't know. I guess we probably have to make some speed here because this is quite open terrain in the eastern half of the map. Time-wise, we are at 2 of 6 hours for the scenario. And apparently there is no resistance in Vickerschwier, Holzwier, Jepsheim, Riedwier, and so on. Which is quite interesting, I think. Enemy artillery striking onto the position where these tanks were previously, so they must have been spotted by something, I assume, so that this is on-call fire rather than plotted by Peter, which might also be the case. I'm not quite sure. And the tanks have actually made it into town. Now I'm a bit concerned that there are still artillery missions targeting these town axes, which might hit our own tanks. Didn't quite do the math there with the order delay and all that. We will see, we will see. Okay, they are now moving up here. We do not have a tank. The infantry has arrived, as you can see. We do not have tanks here to attack this unit, but it's also pulling away. that opens the attack path, so to say, for our infantry, doesn't it? Ooh, seems to be playing out really nice in our favor. Yeah, and now you can see there is artillery fire going down on Vickershire, but I can't quite remember. I assume I also have targeted this hex, so hopefully the command cycle is over before this fire mission has begun. What we could also do is use this, the first battalion. Is it a battalion? It's one stripe, so it's a company, right? The first company to push south immediately. I remember something moving onto the objective hex, but I'm not quite sure whether those units moved north or not. Yeah, apparently all this preliminary artillery bombardment is completely useless as there is no enemy to be found anywhere near this area, which is quite interesting. I can't quite remember if I have set a barrage onto the objective hex or not. Maybe I forgot to do that. Ooh, there we have enemy sightings. Are these reinforcements? Oh, oh. Come on. Command cycle must be over any second now. Stop it. Stop the fire. This I find quite interesting. This situation. Oh. Air superiority level is now weak or so packed. And we can give our orders. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Let's first what I want to do, let's maybe first take care of the artillery, because all this stuff is no longer necessary. And we have the Jaguar now available, a Jaguar sortie. So what are you firing at? On call. What are you firing at? You are on call. What are you firing at? Counter battery fire. That is great. We will use the second battery. Sorry, a little bit of thinking going on in my head to hit these targets. And then we shift over and take a look at the ammunition. Yeah, they are starting to run low, right? I want this barrages here, and I want more barrages on these 2 hexes as well, and then afterwards they can rest and resupply for, I don't know, 20 minutes. Let's say 15 minutes. They're gonna use more ammunition, so let's stay with 20. This one is firing here and here, which is obviously no longer necessary. We're gonna target this objective, and with the second shift over to here, maybe we get some. Shall probably do it the other way around. Get some quick hits. This one is targeting areas up there, which is absolutely not necessary. So what we're gonna do is delete. And instead, we will resupply because we want to have them available to support the infantry attack next command cycle. And these guys are hitting targets over here, which I think is not necessary. And 1 barrage. No, we're gonna have them rest and resupply as well. Okay, yes, please. So we have bombardments here, we have bombardments here. We have bombardments there, which is nice. So I would want to use these for 1 barrage into Colmar, just to try and hit the moving units there, and they still have enough ammunition to deal with all that. Okay, so that is done. Now next, the scouts. I guess I'm gonna probe forward into town. Maybe what we could do is stay on the other side, right? What is this sort of movement doing? Because this is not concealed. I see. In there would be more concealment. Gotcha. The helicopters have not arrived yet. The forward air resupply point has, but the helicopters have arrived here. Well, I guess they are better used in the north, aren't they? So maybe we should actually reposition these guys, but that would be quite tough. So what I'm gonna do with the helicopter is set them on hunt mode. I will have to set the SOP settings as well, but have them hunt. Oh, the last one is probably not the best decision ever made. Like so, and then we got SOP settings. I want them to fire. Preferred standoff is 4, minimal losses, maximum initiative. Relocate after taking any losses. No, after receiving any fire. This is not important for this unit. Apply to this unit only. Thank you. Alrighty, I'm not sure if we actually need the the engineers for the bridges anymore. With having been able to push down here, don't think we need them. What is this hex? Is it a town hex? Yes. Munzenheim. Move them tanks into Munzenheim and hold. Move those tanks to Vickerschwier and hold. Move these tanks over there to hold. And have the second movement be deliberate though. This one can move hastily down here and then continue to there, I guess. Screen though, and deliberate. Headquarter should come up and get into. I guess there's fine. And what else do we have here? Scouts, right? Yeah, scouts. You guys should be somewhere completely different. You guys should push down there. And of course, again, deliberate. All right, so that brings us to this position where we have a recon moving forward. Maybe we try to push them there. Gonna risk the tanks advancing. To where though? To where? Maybe here. This is really risky. Get them in there as well. Oh boy. This gonna hurt. But you need to move this way. These tanks too advanced into here. Advance into here. Here's more cover. Headquarter is ready. This headquarter can shift over now, but not this way. Come on. I can move hasty, no worries. Like so. The yellowish one. There's no, so far we don't know of any threat up there, so oops, that was not where I wanted to put them. Let's see. So come on. Let's do it again. I know woods and such is not the best terrain for tanks, but I guess you get what I'm doing here. Move. These guys need to continue to here. I'm not quite sure. The hasty move might also reduce their readiness, so maybe that's the wrong decision I'm doing here. Range wise, they will have to come up to cover this one as well. Well, we got the engineers, but again, where would we have to use those, huh? Where would we have to use those? Let's take a look at the infantry. They have AMX 10Ps, which sort of look somewhat similar to the Marder, so the West German APC. They do not have, though, that's the difference, they do not have anti-tank guided missiles, which... And the infantry has close range anti-tank weapons, so they can't really do a lot against BMPs, which is a big problem. So moderate losses, minimal, relocate, never though, and you are not going to support the passengers. You are disembarking 2 hexes away from the enemy. You prefer to be concealed, and this is to be applied to all these units. There are some more infantrymen coming, which is interesting. Didn't see that coming. All right. Yeah, well, I guess we start pushing into... Shall we push into Colmar? The enemy is pulling forces away, so that's good for us, I assume. Let's bring them there at least. To dig in, and of course we want this to be deliberate. Yes, these two, deliberate. Yeah, stay there in a secondary line, because if they don't have anti-tank weapons, makes no sense for them to go in all alone. All alone, alone and alone. 85. Here we go. This is a platoon of anti-tank infantry units. They have Milan ATGMs, so they need to be in front. They can go here, absolutely, and dig in there. What else is in this hex? They are platoons. The infantry platoons are pretty small, but yeah. This is assumed to be the case, right? Maybe put one here and then have them sneak into there. So how are we going to do this? Like so, I guess. Hold. This will take some time. This. They have a lot of units. More infantry. Just making ready for a secondary wave. Guess I can leave that open for the next unit. And this is a SP-80, which sounds as if it had anti-tank weapons. 10 Milan rounds. Yes, they have the Milans. Okay, what is this? a weird APC sort of engineer support, FAR support, 10 of 10 unarmored unit, NBC basic MMOP. I'm not quite sure what that means. Infantry support weapons. They also have Milan anti-tank guided missiles, which is awesome. These guys are what we need. These guys are what we need, and we will push them to there to hold. Do they have? No, they do not. Minimal losses, generous, standoff range of 2. This time they should of course support, because they have anti-tank weapons, right? And we have, yeah, will take some time, but 2 deliberate moves. And the headquarter. The headquarter can go there. Oof, that was a lot. Another headquarter here. Not quite sure where to actually position them. 3rd Armored Division headquarter. Do we have another one up here? Or did it shift away to avoid detection? Maybe. Bring it down here to hold. Okay, like so. Have I missed anything? We have this tank platoon here, but they might get out some lucky shots still, so we leave them there for another turn. What is the command range of this one? They should be moving, yes, definitely. Bring them there, they can move hastily. The engineers, well, let's bring them forward, who knows. We might need them at some point, just park them there. And that should be everything we can do. 24 more minutes of replay, that's quite a lot. Very long episode this time. And our artillery strikes. And the tanks strike. We have some radar spotting in the town near the airport. No, the attack helicopters are already in. This hurts. I saw the anti-air sections moving into this position and I forgot about it. And I lost my one and only attack helicopter section available for this mission. By throwing it straight into this position. Oh no! Oh, this hurts. Man, that hurts. Well, it is how it is, isn't it? Yes, it is. Ooh, this might be a headquarter unit or mortar. Yeah, and there's even more anti-air. They are now scooting away from the tanks. I think. Oh. I feel bad about the choppers. Completely unnecessary loss of highly mobile strike potential. Strike. Oh, I'm ready to strike. The creature of the night. What are these tanks doing? Are they sort of bailing away from the anti-air section in front of them? Not really. Are they? They probably are. Which is sort of hilarious. Seems to be mechanized infantry down there at the airport. Maybe units we saw being pulled away from the west. This seems to be anti-tank, isn't it? No, it's also anti-air. Alright. Okay. Well, nothing to fear then. But there are also BMPs coming, so and they have anti-tank guided missiles. So yeah. And as you can see, that was probably the cannon just blasting away the recon jeeps, which are now scooting away. Hopefully they will survive. Oh, we are under fire by some units still in Ingersheim apparently, which we cannot see. The anti-tank platoon is rushing past them, it appears. Yeah, and there is this scouting section gone, unfortunately. So infantry against tanks now. Question is, do the BMPs support them or not? It is necessary, in my opinion, for Warsaw Pact forces to have the BMP support, because the infantry has no ATGMs whatsoever. Okay, our tanks are getting mortared. What are these? Are these scout units over here? Looks like. BRDM 2s, yeah, I think those are scouts. We have a radar sighting here, might be artillery, hopefully counter battery fire will strike against them. And they are running away. Luckily for us, so far no artillery has been called onto this position. Could have been completely different already. Ah, we lost 2 tanks there to artillery. Very unfortunate. Very much unfortunate. Because we do not have that much striking power in the Far East. So we probably have to pull over the the first company as well, to support the attack on all these objectives. What do we have here? What is this? BM3s? BMPs here, mostly scouting sections. Okay, very interesting. Stumbling into lots of scouts there. Wondering why they are all concentrated in this one position and not spread out. The next order phase belongs to my opponent. Back to Peter then. This was a very long episode, very interesting development. I'm looking forward to how this will proceed.